naming and formula writing for covalent bonds. So in this example problem, it says write the chemical name for the following covalent compounds. So all of these are covalent compounds, but we need the rules of writing covalent compounds names. So we have the formulas here, we just need to know how to write their names. So the rules go as there's going to be a prefix, because in covalent bonds or covalent compounds, the name also reveals how many, the common name or the most basic name reveals how many atoms of that element are in that compound. So there's going to be a prefix, and then it's going to be the first name of the element, and I'm going to show you what the prefixes are in a second. The first name of the element, the first name is going to be the name of the first element. So first will be the name of the element, the first element. Then there's going to be another prefix separated out, and the part of the name, just part of the name of the second element, but it ends in IDE. Sort of like ionic bonds. So we have a prefix, then we have the name of the first element, then we have another prefix, and the name of the second element ending in IDE. So let's try this with the first one. The first one though, so the prefixes go like this. First, the prefixes, I'm going to write the prefixes here, are this. Mono stands for 1. Di stands for 2. Tri stands for 3. Tetra stands for 4. Penta stands for 5. And there are more that stand for more elements. So if you need those, you can look up the list and see how many, see the complete list of the prefixes if you need to have prefixes that are more than 5. So when you have the first element we have here is boron. So we're going to put that there. That's boron. And then F3. So that means we're going to have fluoride, because remember we are doing that. Now we can go back and kind of put in the prefixes. However, a rule, there's also, we usually don't write, you could write mono here, but if there's one of them, you just say the name of the first element. So we don't really have to write it when there's mono in the first one, only if there's more than one element, more than one atom of that element for the first one do we put the prefix. So we can cross that out, but it's one boron and trifluoride. So I would put those words together. So this one would be boron trifluoride would be the name of this compound. Now we have sulfur. Notice I didn't put mono boron or mono sulfur because we're just talking about one of those, one atom of that element. But notice this is oxygen, so it's going to be tri, because there's 3 of them based on the subscript, trioxide. Remember, we end with the IDE. H2O. Notice that this now starts with an atom with compounds with 2 atoms of the first element. So now I have to start putting the prefixes. There's 2 hydrogens, so I'm going to put dihydrogen. And there's 1 oxygen, so I'm going to put monoxide. Monoxide. Notice that. Monoxide. Dihydrogen, monoxide. I didn't put monooxide, but I put monoxide. Here, there are 2 nitrogens, so I'm going to put dinitrogen. Notice it's the same name as of the first element, no changes, but I have to put di to tell the person I'm speaking to or another scientist that I'm talking about 2 nitrogens, 2 nitrogen atoms. And then there's 4 oxygens, so it's tetroxide, which tells me there are 4 atoms of that element. So it's dinitrogen tetroxide. So Here, we can figure out from a name the formula, and from the formula, the name of covalent bonds.